So hello everybody and welcome back. Hope everybody's had a good week so far. Today we're taking a look at this Mitsubishi Isshikirikko Type 11. As far as I can tell, it's a G. It says here also G4M1, the Betty Bomber. But I don't know what this is because it says, from what I looked, that the Betty Bomber was a Type 1. So I'm not really sure what the difference is between that. I tried to look and I couldn't find anything. So this is from Tamiya in 148 scale. We'll take a look at the instructions first. So here we have our instruction sheet. You see we start here building the cockpit. We also have a pilot and co-pilot. We have some the decal you can put for the instrument panel. I'll be painting it. Also some detailed painting instructions on the pilot, which is really good. And it looks like there's quite a few parts there in the interior. Painting instructions on the middle piece too. Here, number 2, we have the floor, putting the cockpit into it, as well as the left sidewall. This is probably the bombardier side. Some more instruments here. A bunch of detail parts that go here in the back. Then we have here bulkhead, another piece of the floor that goes on top here with wing spars, and a bulkhead here also with wing spars. And then here we also have, this is the pre-assembly for this part here with this floor piece and the wing spar, and a part that goes on the bottom too. So number 3, we have some detail on the inside of the fuselage. We have the waist guns, and here's some panels that go into the looks like the front. So number 4, we put the interior inside. We have this piece we gotta make sure we get in there right here, and we're putting the fuselage halves together. One more part in the front here. Oh, here's the instructions of pre-assembly with the tail wheel and everything for this rear bulkhead. Number 5, we have the canopy, which I always do that last. All these clear parts I always do last. But these pre-assemblies I'll put together and paint. Also the nose. Dorsal machine gun up here. Also another crew figure for the rear gunner. So number 6, we put the wings together. Number 7, we have the engine nacelle assembly. Not a lot of parts here, just the bay doors and stuff to put in. And you see it's uneven, it's showing you. Same thing here. So number 8, we're putting the flaps and the engine nacelles onto the wings. So number 9, we're starting to build the engines. One of the things I like to do is I like to find a picture of the engine on the internet. I found quite a few pictures of World War II engines there. The Japanese ones are a little bit harder to find. American ones are really easy to find. But it shows, you know, the colors. It really shows the colors so good on how to paint them. So you put these, put the cowlings, all the engine parts in. We also have here the main landing gear. Number 10, you put the main landing gear inside. Number 4, you put the engines on, as well as the exhaust. And it looks like they have, you can also put these, what are they called? They hide the flames from the exhaust. And we have horizontal stabilizers. Number 13, put the wings on, a couple detail parts as well. Here we have the tail. Put the tail and the horizontal stabilizers on. Here we have our choice of to build a torpedo or a bomb rack. And here the last page. we put our bomb racks in, and you see there's two of them, or we put our torpedo in. If we use the torpedo, we have to cut out this part of the bomb bay doors here. And our last step, we put the propellers and the, well, we have here this antenna ring and a couple of antennas there and the props. This also has a separate painting sheet, unfortunately not in color. As you have this one from Kanoya Naval Fighter Group, flown by Lieutenant Hiroki Iki, Malaysia, Indochina, November 1941. And see, we have this in a camouflage pattern, three-toned. And this one is just gray and green. This is 705th Naval Fighter Group, 1943, Rabaul Base. I would probably like to go with the camouflage pattern though. I like camouflage patterns better. So here's our decal sheet. You see there's not much to it. We have our tail numbers, our roundels, we have instrument panel, and all these white and yellow markings. Stuff like this I'll be painting on. I think I have colors for, well, that's going to be hard, but white, you know, I like to paint this stuff on more. I mean, they look good, but there's not too much to it. Pretty simple. So start here looking into the parts. Here we have sprue A. You see our fuselage halves, our nacelles, and our vertical fin. See here is some good engraved detail overall on the kit. Nice panel lines. Unfortunately, the door here is not open. You can't open it. I guess you could if you wanted to. Spend the extra time to do it. Internally, not much to see. On the inside, you see the nacelles, well, the wheel bays, as well as the inside of the aircraft is pretty bare. Of course, we don't really see a whole lot on the inside when it's together, but I still like to I still like to have something in there, you know. It's not what they put in there, it's what we know is in there. So here we have sprue B. We have our, well, the top half of the wings, half of the flap, our horizontal stabilizers, and two of our bulkheads. Once again, externally, there's some nice engraved detail there. You can see the fuel tanks and everything really good too. Looks like there's three of them. Or four of them actually. Oh, there's another one. One. At least I think that's what they are. This does have some weird line there on the wing. You can see it there. It's not, that's from the molding right there too. Once it's painted, it's usually pretty good. The vertical stabilizers look pretty good. The bulkheads aren't totally bare. There's some detail there. Except for on this side. This side's nothing. So you know which side's going to face the inside of the bomb bay, probably. So here we have sprue D. We see our other two wing halves, the other two halves of the flaps. We have some more of our bulkheads, the interior floor, our control panel, instrument panel. That's for the tail wheel, and that's for the inside there, I think. The inside of the bomb bay has some really good detail there, some cables and everything. Here on the inside of the wings, where the wheel's going to go, where the main landing gear. Well, they got a spar there, but there's no detail. These are the insides of the bulkheads with no detail. I mean, you know, the away-facing piece. The control panel looks pretty good. It's going to be good to be. It's going to be easy to paint, I think. On the outside, we have some good external detail, and it looks like a really stable part here for the landing gear, which we don't find often on these big aircraft. I usually have problems getting they break often. So I think for these bigger aircraft, even like the B-25s, I like the metal landing gear, but I found I had to put a lot of weight in the front of my B-25, and it bent the landing gear, the metal one. So you can't really win. Need some stronger stuff, some steel. So we have some decent detail there, but there's no cables or anything. They did put a pattern there for it, but no cables or anything. It looks okay. I mean, the exterior wise, it looks good, but on the interior, there's missing a lot. So here we have a sprue D. You see here, we have our bomb bay door. You can also see here the part that has to be cut out for the torpedo. I'll probably be using bombs though. Our crew members, they look pretty good, but they all look the same. Not, well, about. But I guess with this size, you can't complain too much. The guns look pretty decent. There's guns. The rear landing gear looks okay. Here, this little controls, they look good too. If anybody's wondering what the noise is, it's windy and rainy, so, The seats are pretty plain. I don't see no seat belts. I think the best way to fix that is just use masking tape. There's too many kits missing seat belts to buy them for everyone. It gets expensive. And I don't have the money to be doing that. So here we have tree E. You see there's two of them. We have our cowlings, we have these rings, our engines, our propellers, bombs, torpedo halves, main landing gear. Pretty much everything that needs two of. Two sides here. Let's take one away. Now, I like my engine to look good, and this one's going to be, it looks like all the parts are there pretty much, except for maybe the rings and the cables, but we can do that. It takes a while, especially with, it only has two engines. With 4-engine bomber would be terrible. It'd take a lot. It took me forever to do the cables on the IAR-80. It took a while. So you can probably see here on the inside of the cowling is a bear. No, it's usually that way though. Propellers look good. The bombs and torpedo are satisfactory. Wheel wells are bare. I mean, they have, there's some texture there and stuff. But no, there's no cables or anything. For those cables, you need really thin wire. Like, if you get that braided wire, you can glue those in there. But you really need a picture to see how they're supposed to run, if you want to go through that. But you really need those really thin braided wires. So here, our last sprue is sprue F, and that is our clear parts. They're not all that thick. I really don't know what too thick is. I've seen a lot worse than this though. The framing looks really good. Even though, well, I don't see no rivets or anything, but maybe it's not riveted, I don't know. Can't know everything, I guess. If I had more time, I could study all this stuff, but I don't. I have to deliver a lot of packages every day. And I can only do these videos when I have free, so. But I like it. So what can I say about this model kit? Interior detail is missing. The wheel well detail is missing. Externally, it looks really good. but there's a lot of internal detail missing. I think there's some stuff missing in the cockpit as well. Like all those cables you see in the bottom of the bomb bay, well, that should be in the wheel wells too. And those cables should be in the cockpit too. And there should be a lot more. But once it closed up, you're limited on what you can really see, but I still liked it. There should be in there. Now, it's not a perfect kit, but it'll still build into a decent model of a... I'm not going to try to say it again. I don't know. Type 11. But I still don't know what the difference is between the Type 11 and the Type 1 Betty. I cannot find it. I'm sure if I knew Japanese and I did some did some reading about in Japanese, I could probably figure it out. So please join me next time, and we're going to take a look at a model kit I've already built. It's a BTR 80 and 135 scale from Suezta. I have no idea if I say Suezta right, but you know, I'm not Russian. I don't know. Somebody tell me how you say it right. Thanks for watching. Until then, bye.